Okay, Nakaba, I take it back. Obviously, some cool stuff is gonna happen across these 200 miles. Keep it going, keep it going. I'm intrigued, I'm happy, let's do it. Before we hop into this review of Chapter 7 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, please do me a favor and leave a like, comment your own thoughts on the chapter down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are to review Chapter 7 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse. And I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Call me McDonald's. Because here's the thing. I was initially very, very worried about these 200 miles. Mainly because I thought it was just going to be Donnie, Percival, and Sin. And I honestly don't care enough about any of these characters yet. Like, I knew we weren't going to get any more of my best boy Pelgard for a while. I knew we weren't going to get much, I thought we weren't going to get much plot for a while. I thought we were literally just going to be following these three idiots going along through Britannia. But now, I will happily admit, I was 100% wrong, and I'm glad about it. So let's hop into this review. We open up, they get off the dragon spine. Thankfully, we didn't have an entire dragon spine arc. I was ready for it. I've seen too much. I've seen too much filler, bro. No, I'm kidding. But we get off the dragon spine, and then Percival's like, hey, yo, it's almost dinner time. Everyone's hungry. Let's see who can get the biggest, baddest prey. And they run off. They all separate. Well, Percival really runs off. Sin and Donnie stay together. Donnie is revealed to have taken the bow and arrows from Percival since he's a threat to everyone's existence, including his own, with those bow and arrows. But turns out, Donnie is a trash shot too. Everyone sucks with the bow. Can't wait to see Sin's attempt at it. However, regardless of that, we see that they're just going along, everything's moving, and darn, like, Sin's a savage, and I love it. Like, it's a really, I don't know. I feel like I'm really gonna like Sin as a character. I already like him 10 times more than Hawk, despite me admitting that Hawk actually does have character development and a story to him. Like, Sin, in his introduction so far, he's been so much fun. I really enjoy him. He's honestly my favorite of our current three main characters, and I literally just met him. But regardless of that, we run into a giant. And I'm not even gonna lie, when I first saw this giant, my brain immediately went, oh my word, she's with fairies too? It's time. We finally met King and Diane's kid, only for me to punch myself across the jaw and be like, neither of them were blonde. Or at least I'm not sure if this one is blonde. But the thing is, I don't think this hair color and this hair color can produce this hair color. So I'm like, my hopes got high, but then they dropped it instantaneously because I realized, oh wait, that's physically impossible, at least as far as I know. And the main thing that tipped me off is that this giant was named Dolores. Like, I don't know. My mind went, Dolores, Diane's friend who died, a name homage. It's gotta be canon. But then once again, the hair threw me off. So I think actually this may be Matrona's kid. I think so, really, because she is a giant, and reasonably, that means she's likely a giant child. I don't know why, like, my brain did such a slow leap of logic there. Obviously, she's a giant child, so she's praying to a goddess. Now, that's interesting. I know that the era of praying to the goddess clan is sort of gone, but apparently it's not. Even Sin is like, hey, shouldn't you be praying to Mother Earth? I know, like, I guess Mother Earth was an established entity in this world, but unlike the rest of the clans, she wasn't created by Chaos. I mean, maybe she was technically Kratos created the world, so I guess Mother Earth is there, but she wasn't mentioned. It was literally just Chaos itself that created the goddess, not the goddess clan, the giant clan. And I thought that was it, but no, apparently there's specifically a Mother Earth type of character that goddesses, not goddesses, I keep saying goddesses, that giants typically pray towards. And apparently Dolores ain't about that action. So intriguing. I'm wondering why, what happened? Because, you know, once again, like I said, the goddess era, praying to them is sort of dead. None of them are really alive. Like, all the four archangels are dead. Well, not all of them. Mael's still around, but Elizabeth is a human right now. The supreme deity is still a menace. At least I'm assuming she's still a menace. And I don't know, like, what evangelizers are still going about praising the goddess clan so much that they're still being worshipped to, especially by a giant. It seems like a really weird scenario that I feel like we're going to pick up on later, and that may have to do with all the theories that everyone, especially all y'all in the comment section, shout outs to y'all, talking about the Supreme Deity's involvement in this second series, and how she could be influencing Arthur and stuff like that, and how the Goddess Clan could be trying to make a comeback, now that admittedly, while Meliodas and Zeldris are still extremely strong, the Demon Clan's kind of down bad right now. Like, everyone's dead. If you think about it, Meliodas, Zeldris, their whatever respective kids that they have, and that's about it. I think all the other 10 commandments, like Melascula just is a snake again, and everyone else is dead. So really, this would be the best time for the Goddess Clan to be like, well, it's revival. All they gotta hope is that Meliodas doesn't just drop down and be like, hey, you stay back now. But regardless of that, moving on from that point, we see that Echo Gorge used to be a place for fairies and giants, and I like that it's established that these two, basically due to the union of their king and queen, and the sense of Harlequin and Diane, have basically just become a cohabitated species. Like, despite them being exact opposites, a giant and a fairy, obviously two, one large, one small, they've managed to live together, and I think that's really, really cool. It was kind of established, but we didn't see much of that in the Lancelot one-shot, which is what confused me, because I knew Bon was the king of his little kingdom right there. However, I was expecting to see more fairy and giants cohabitating in the same area. It looks like Echo Gorge used to be this place, but then a demon showed up and turned this place to a nightmare state. And the intriguing thing is that Dolores seems to know something about that. Like, we see that Percival he's living his best life, he's vibing, going through, destroying all the prey, and we see that there's this guy in here who, honestly, y'all know what I'm gonna say, he's torturing a fairy, he's doing experiments and stuff like that, he's gonna use this fairy as a guinea pig, and it's interesting, like, Percival busts down the door, this guy doesn't appear to have anything on him, but in the next panel, he seems to have some blood leaking from his mouth, and the fairy's like, please, he's a bad guy, help me out, let me go. And they're all running, keeping it moving. And then my man, he just pulls up and trips Percival. Percival gets thrown into a wall, the fairy gets hurt, but the fairy gets out of here. Just keeps it moving and he's gone. And then everyone's hyping up, oh no, the demon of Echo Gorge, it's time. And once again, Dolores just looks oddly sad or nostalgic in this panel. I wonder who, I'm thinking Dolores is Matrona's kid. That's what I'm thinking. Looks like the same hair coloration, giant, doesn't look like, I don't think it could be King and Diane's kid, mainly off the hair. If it is King and Diane's kid, who knows? I mean, it would make sense, but it makes sense for either Matrona or Diane to name their daughter Dolores based on the fact that she was their mutual friend. So I don't really know, but we see that this person who currently tripped Percival and knocked my man out is not Nasiens. The demon is known as Nasiens, the Mad Herbalist. And here's the thing. Now, while I don't think Dolores is the child of King and Diane, my mind is running facts. It's running the calculations. And you know what I see here? I see Zeldris's and Gelda's kid. This is a very interesting scenario right here, because the thing is, I think that blood that we see from earlier was him trying to slurp up the blood from the fairy, because he's a vampire, but also he's able to survive in the open world pretty easily without no shields up, like Gelda had to do for the most part, and on top of that, he is known as a demon. So a demon, a vampire, sucking blood, he literally licks his lips at the sight of Percival, which is a little concerning. Y'all both look underage. This is, I can't be reading this, but regardless of that, I think if this is Zeldra and Gelda's kid, Zeldris's and Gelda's kid, then I'm excited, because obviously I want to know what happened to his parents. Like, not gonna lie, as much as I love the introductions of all these new characters, darn it, I'm still looking for the old ones. But regardless of that, I think this is a super solid chapter, and the main things I need to know is Dolores seems to know Nysens. Like, this seems to be a combination of something she knows about him, because she looks awfully guilty when they're talking about him, and Dolores just seems to be awfully sketchy. Not as sketchy as Nysens, obviously, who's experimenting on fairies, locked off an entire gorge to himself, and it looks like he's licking his lips to ready to slurp up Percival. But, oh yeah, is Percival knocked out? I think Percival's knocked out at the end of the chapter. I wonder how? Hold on. Oh, he stabbed Percival. He stabbed Percival with something. At least that's what I'm assuming. When Percival's back was turned, he hit him with the quick, bang, bang, and that's why he has the knife at hand. So is he gonna, like, slurp Percival up now? Like, it's intriguing. That's the thing. I like this chapter. Sure, it introduces a lot of new stuff. It gives me what I wanted to know, the stuff that giants and fairies are living together. Cool stuff like that. Gives me a hypothetical Matrona kid. I'm going purely off the name and the hair color there. If this is King and Diane's kid, even better. You know, I want to see them. I also want to get an update on them. But I'd be completely fine with learning more about Matrona. I want to know if did she get it on with that human that she met all that time ago? Like, that got mentioned about twice, and who she was fighting for in the tournament, and she just used the little shrinking pills to get pregnant and then have Dolores? I don't know. Did she manage to have Dolores by some other way, like maybe help from the goddess clan or something, and that's why she has her daughter worshiping a goddess clan idol or something like that. Like there are a lot of questions raised in this chapter, and I like questions because questions means there's more lore for me to get into, there are more things for me to ask about, there are more questions for me to go to. So obviously, biggest questions, why is a goddess worshiping why is a goddess? I keep saying goddess. Why is a giant worshiping a goddess clan statue or a goddess clan idol? Why is that happening? Why is a demon or a vampire, you know what I'm saying, doing in this Echo Gorge? What is this giant's connection to this demon vampire maybe combo? What's the guilt coming from? Why is Percival done? No, I'm kidding. I'm used to Percival now. Like y'all really do a great job of convincing me in the comments of like, hey, calm down. It's not as serious as you think. Just let it rock. Because you're right. You guys are right. He hasn't been that bad yet. So I completely understand him. He's a pure kid. This is a new world for him. So him getting stabbed, knocked out, and slurped up by a demon named Nonsense makes perfect sense. And if this is in fact Zeldris and Geldas's what? Zeldris and Gelda's kid. Why is he here? Where are his parents? What's going on? Where's the adult supervision, gosh darn it? And why is he looking at Percival all knocked out like that? Like this last panel, super sus, bro. I can't, no, I'm kidding. But regardless of that, yeah, honestly, despite this chapter having a reasonable extra amount of information in it, due to it literally just raising questions and honestly providing me little to no answers, I don't necessarily have that much to talk about. It's a good chapter. I like it a lot. It's cool to see new locations that have spawned or new locations that have always been here, but we've just never seen before. Because one of the things, as much as I love the Seven Deadly Sins world, I love it mainly for its backstory and lore. We don't necessarily know that much about Britannia as a place. We know a couple kingdoms and where some of the races reside, and that's about it. So I'm happy to see these extra new areas, all these notable locations that hopefully we can come back to. But other than that, I think it's a super solid chapter. Is it as good as last chapter? No, because Pelgard isn't in it. But regardless of that, I think this is still a solid 7 out of 10. Good chapter. Can't wait to see what's happening next chapter. Are Donnie, Dolores, and Sin going to be able to save Percival in time before he gets slopped up? Is Nonsense going to even slop up Percival? Is Percival going to be a guinea pig? What's going to happen? Find out next time on the next episode of Fortnite to the Apocalypse. Chapter. Regardless of that, thank you so much for watching. Please drop your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and this is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.